After my second psychosis, I was in kind of a occupational therapy rehab program, and I kind of just had one memory that sticks out quite a bit more than anything else. Pretty much in the rehab program, we do crafts and all that, and everybody would try to interact. If somebody didn't show up, one of the people who was in the group would call and find out why they were not there. There was this one guy. His name was Robert. He actually also had schizophrenia. He was pretty withdrawn for the most part. I mean, anytime we engage in activity, he would usually do it for a little bit and then he'd stop. Often he showed the same thing that I often do. I often twitch, and he would twitch. One day I remember him saying, he wanted to speak to the pastor about potentially having demons inside him, potentially get an exorcism, that he truly believed that. Now, obviously, I don't believe, anybody can really be possessed by a spirit. I don't believe in that. I think, most cases people may have some sort of brain problem, like encephalopathy, or maybe just trauma, and that's why they behave the way they do. And obviously schizophrenia, I mean, it can seem very paranormal at times, but this message is for anybody who's with me so far. Just a disclaimer warning, it is kind of depressing. This guy eventually, I was away from that group for a couple months, and then when I came back, I heard that he had committed suicide. Now, it is very difficult for a lot of people for his whole family to process that. I understand, but all the same, even just this guy having to speak to a pastor, I'm almost certain that pastor would have probably called somebody for help. And this is just for anybody who's going through suicide ideation. Always reach out. We tend generally every time when we tend to get depressed or sad or anything like that, we start pushing people away, and just find somebody who's willing to listen. I often listen to the singer Callum Scott, and this is one song called "No Matter What," which every single time I read the comments, my heart just warms a little bit, because it's so different from what you're seeing from the majority of the people nowadays. Yeah. People say things, say somebody says, "I wish my parents were accepting," something like that. Well, somebody in the comments, somebody who doesn't know them will say, "I don't know you, but I love you no matter what. You are valuable, so and so." There's always somebody out there who's willing to help you. Now, anybody who's watched videos of some YouTube stars, who have a lot of views, who are partners up with BetterHelp, don't go for BetterHelp. I'll just tell you straight up, they charge an arm and a leg. BetterHelp has many lawsuits against them. They know that they're not a good group. I mean, the best sites are actually free. They're done by mostly volunteers or people with suicide assist. I actually had suicide assist for some time back in 2010, but it's probably needs to be renewed. Well, definitely needs to be renewed. Just a few months ago, for example, one of my roommates, he actually he had gone to the shower, I guess, and he screamed, and I didn't hear it. I was listening to Netflix, and then I got a text that said, come to this guy's room. He's really having a bad time. He's not in the right mind state. Now, I never got to see his face because he wanted the lights off, and he was talking about suicide and all that. And somebody was sort of near his TV and was pressing on the desk, and he said, go away from the TV, you might break it. And obviously the first thing that comes to your mind when something like that happens is you have to kind of think, oh, if he's worried about the TV, clearly he's not going to commit suicide. Now, obviously I know that, but that was the feeling that I got, but I wasn't going to downplay the severity of it. I mean, anybody who says anything like that, it's severe. So I did call the landlord, but who told me to call the police, but I decided we didn't really need the police in that situation. I figured we could just, convince him to stay safe for the rest of the time. If it was severe enough, I would have definitely called the police. But yeah, and this time I didn't. Now, one time, during this suspension from Walmart, for those of you who have watched those videos, I was calling for in the middle of the night, 4 a.m. for therapy, and one person said, "Are you sure you're not making stuff up? Making up problems?" Because I was pretty enraged by the fact I had been jumped, not just several nights before, and that's what caused the whole situation. And I kind of felt Walmart was discriminating against me, which can be taken however you will, but all the same, never ever say that. I have made a video, like I said, one of my it's called considered a short video, but I just said it mentioned a few things, never to say someone suicidal. Anyway, that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching.